Today's the day.
Today's the big day. We're after 10 weeks of training, working out and losing weight. It's check-in day, but not here at home like I always do. Down at the gym where we take my weight, my measurements, and we take some progress pictures. Now I feel like I'm riding a little bit high today, coming in at 69.2 kg, because the lightest I've gotten down to is 67.7, but that's when we've been stripping back my diet, trying to get rid of as much weight as possible, and then we've been building it up and back as hopefully muscle. So there's only one way to find out if that's the case, and that's to go and see Charlotte. Oh, I'm nervous, but also very excited. So first we work out. Workout complete. Progress picture time. Oh man, honestly, every time I see the image of what I look like at the start, I'm just in a bit of disbelief of like, wow, I really did have tits. Oh my God, is that Charlotte, the boob reduction man boob remover? Thank you so much. Honestly, 10 weeks of this, I've absolutely loved it. You're a beast, and thanks for dealing with me being late.
You're welcome. Keep going. Don't mess it up.
Yeah, don't mess it up, she says, as I'm about to go away on a stag do where I'm going to be drinking, eating, and just partying my face off for like 5 days straight. Well, as they say in the biz, it is what it is, and good morning! Good morning, little weed! Oh my gosh, that smile! Oh my gosh, my boy! And wait a minute. Mummy's made porridge. Thank you. But hang on a minute. Isn't Daddy's porridge too hot? Yours is too cold. And isn't yours usually just right? So where's yours? Hand over your porridge. Hand over your porridge. What a nice way to start my day. Thank you, Lydia.
You're welcome.
Well, off the Famalam go. Off to Alfredo's swimming lesson. So I'm going to set up shop with my laptop, my tripod, and we're going to go over what I've been working towards. Now, I have to admit, I'm very nervous to sit down and do this. This is actually my third hour of attempting to record this video, and whatever take it could possibly be, because this is a lot more to me than just showing a picture of like this 10-week fitness journey I've been on, because it goes way deeper than that. And I'm just going to sort of like rip the band-aid off now and admit to you guys something that I've never said on camera before. And that is, I am extremely self-conscious about my body. Always have been for as long as I can remember. And when you see this picture, you'll go, yeah, I can tell why. You're a big old boy. And the thing is, it goes back further than when I looked like this. And in fact, went back to when I was like a teenager, when if I looked at a picture of what I looked like when I was say like 16 or something like that, I was super skinny, I had no man boobs whatsoever, and I looked absolutely fine. But in my head, I was like Shamu out of the ocean. I had the biggest boobs ever, and I don't know why I've always thought that way. Again, this picture you're about to see, I definitely have man boobs, and that's probably one of the tipping points to why I was like, right, I got to do something about this. But for some reason, my entire life, I felt this way. I've always thought this way. There's never been someone who said something to me, or there's been a moment in my life that scarred me about it, but it's just always how I felt. And for some reason, I've never actively decided to do something about it. Like, I've just got on with my life, and if anyone said anything, like a friend or someone on the internet, like managed to see what I look like, it never bothered me. Honestly, I've got like the thickest skin. Someone could say something straight to my face, and I'd be like, really not bothered. Doesn't affect me in the slightest. It was always my own mind battling how I felt about it and how I looked. And it wasn't until 10 weeks ago that I was sat in there with little Alfie, and I thought to myself, like, this kid is going to grow up to live the best life. I'm going to, like, you know, back him all the way, 110%, and let him know that no matter what he puts his mind towards, he can do it and he can achieve it. And it's something that I've always strived for in my vlogs and my life and who I've always been. You know, you put your mind to something, you can achieve it. Like, my dream was to be a YouTuber, and I tried and failed, but put my mind towards it and I did it. I've always been that sort of like positive mental attitude. And positive vibes are on repeat. But it kind of just clicked that as much as that is true, and I am going to support Alfie and I'll always have that sort of like positive mindset, I am kind of not being true to myself in regards to, I have this problem that I'm unhappy with something, but I'm not making a change. And I was like, why? What am I doing? What is this stupid excuse of going, oh, I'm fat, I'm unhappy. Not like unhappy sad, but I'm unhappy with it. But whatever, I'll just carry on ticking through life and, always deal with this. No, it's time to do something about it. So I sent a text to Charlotte, who's a PT down at the gym, and I said, enough's enough. I'm getting shit done and we're getting on with it. And Charlotte was like, right, we're cracking on with it and we're going to go for it. And to just dive straight into this, this on screen now is what I looked like 10 weeks ago. I've never shown me in this sort of state ever before. And I've probably looked like this now for, I don't know, last 6 years. I definitely say COVID hit a lot onto my body, but I've looked like this for a good portion of time now, and I was very unhappy with it. I was the probably heaviest I've ever weighed there. I was at 12 stone, maybe 7, coming on the scales there, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it in the slightest. I was unhappy with it, and I decided it was time to do something about it. Now, disclaimer, the transformation between the picture you just saw and the end of the 10 weeks is no like ultimate ripped, I am Zeus looking god, Sam Sulek, eat your heart out, but I'm about to be going on a stag do, a bunch of holidays back to back, another stag do, and I feel like the fitness levels will unfortunately drop because I'm going to be drinking, I'm going to be eating, and honestly, I'm just going to be enjoying my life. And I feel like I want to just throw that massive statement out there of, through everything I'm showing you now and the self-consciousness of my body and everything, I will forever and always prioritize having a good time with my friends and my family and enjoying that moment over my feel about my man boobs. I am not or haven't been unfit to the detriment of my health or being able to do anything. I've just not liked where I've been at. Like, if I was to die tomorrow, I would much rather die tomorrow knowing me and Lydia enjoyed a lovely meal out together than me dying with big old boobs in the coffin. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there. But yeah, the transformation between me being like big boob Tom here, like go on to my side image where, a bit podgier, which can be seen more now on the back image where, yeah, I got those love handles, muffin tops just hanging off the edge, and mate, my posture is just absolutely dire. And I think that's like one of the main things that has actually come out of this entire like gym going experience that I've noticed the most. Like, I feel like I'm so much more like posed and feeling better, and it's just a good way to carry yourself around. I think it is worth noting that I actually would have started this whole gym journey a long time ago, but as I was talking about my posture, it's kind of reminded me of the fact that I've actually got a damaged shoulder, and over a year ago now, I actually went to see a doctor to work out what's going on with it, because as much as I wanted to go to the gym and start getting fit and start this whole like strict diet plan, this and that, and do better by my body, I had this click. So every time I lifted my arm above my shoulder, it would click, and I unfortunately caused that myself by lifting weights over my head, because as much as I've been self-conscious, and you saw the big fat Tom, I've never been that bad, because I've always done little bits of exercise where if I wake up in the morning and I do a certain amount of push-ups or a certain amount of sit-ups, I've always done a little bit of exercise in some way, shape or form. But through speaking to a doctor and going to a physio, I got advised to not do any sort of exercise on my shoulder. Like, yeah, I could have gone running, I could have done other stuff, I could still do sit-ups, but I couldn't really do anything when it came to like my shoulder, because they didn't want me to irritate it like anymore. I went for MRI scans on it and did like weeks and weeks of physio, but it came to like nothing. And like through discussion now, it was through doing exercise, it may make your posture improve. So when you lift your arm up in the air and lower it, it doesn't click anymore. Because man, I used to be able to swim for miles and miles and miles and miles, and now I can't really swim more than a few hundred meters without my shoulder going click, click, click. And you can't hear it, but inside my body, it feels like every time I go like this, it feels like it's going like this. Like, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. So I actually didn't get on with the gym hype, like I said, because I didn't want to cause this any more pain. But through speaking with the physio and realised like this is getting nowhere and my body's getting fatter, what can we do? We decided to like go about going to the gym, but with my physio and my PT working around what exercises I can do. So shout out to Sam. I do really appreciate all his effort and everything he's put in with me and putting up my stuff. He's the guy you see in the videos where he's like cracking my back and like digging like machinery into my shoulder and stuff. It's basically a fun way to pay someone to beat you up and then still have a problem. But yeah, I decided that, you know what, I'm not using this shoulder as an excuse, and we're going to crack on with the gym. So back to my original picture of what I look like, I decided it's time to crack on. And for 5 weeks, I decided I am going to be strict with going to the gym and strict with what I put in my body. I basically cut out drinking. I cut out any sugary drinks, whether it was even a cup of tea. I wouldn't even have a spoonful of sugar. I switched that out for honey. If I was going to drink a Monster, I would go for a sugar-free Monster rather than a full fat. When it came to my breakfast, rather than having full fat milk with Cocoa Pop cereal or Crave or whatever, I switched it out for oatmeal and honey. And I either had semi-skim milk with that or oat milk with that. Like I really did strip back a lot of my diet, and I did no snacking. Like Lydia can walk around this house and eat a chocolate bar, a bag of crisps, have her evening meal and this, and just keep snacking, eat ice cream. I had none of it, no snacking whatsoever. The only thing I would eat between like my meals would be like either a Baby Bell, because it's good for protein, or like chicken fridge raiders because it's just a bit of protein in my body. But other than that, I wouldn't snack. And when it came to drinking, rather than choosing to have like a cup of tea or a sugar-free drink, I would choose water. And honestly, wow, I've never felt so mentally good just from being hydrated. And it's something like I feel like I've learned more than anything is hydration is just the way to just take your mind to the next level of being creative and feeling good. But yeah, through 5 weeks of clean diet and exercising regularly twice a week, we managed to transform to this image. And I love that when I shared a bit of a progress picture after 5 weeks, some people were like, oh, the only thing you've managed to lose is your shoes and your watch. Yeah, I got absolutely roasted. I didn't actually share this picture. I showed an image from like the back where my shoulders were flexed, and people were just like, yeah, you've done absolutely nothing here. And I was like, oh, I feel like I have, because this is the front image, this is the side image that you can see here, and you can tell I've come in a little bit, but where it's the most notable is where you see my back image here, and damn, has the muffin top subsided. Like, honestly, I'm in disbelief if we did like a comparison of like what my back looked like side by side. Like, honestly, to me, that is absolutely ridiculous, the amount of weight that I lost from that stage. Like, yeah, if you do a week 1 to week 5 comparison from the front on screen now, the difference there to me is absolutely insane. It's nowhere near where I wanted it to be, but I knew this was working. I knew that by exercising and watching my diet, I can lose the weight. Like, I just for some reason thought it was never going to disappear, but it actually did. And I was super stoked to see results, but I still, like, we working with Charlotte and my diet, still felt like I was quite heavy, like in my upper body. And even though we were working it, I was like, I need to do a bit more. So even though I was going to the gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I decided to start myself a little 30-day challenge. And that 30-day challenge was doing 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, and a minute worth of a plank every single day for 30 days. And every week I would increase the difficulty by 30%. So it would go to 13 press-ups, 13 sit-ups, to the point where now I'm on week 3 and I'm doing 19 press-ups a night, 19 sit-ups a night, and a 2-minute plank, 30-second rest, and repeating 3 times. So really working my upper body. And I decided that hopefully pushes the amount of fitness that I'm working my shoulders and like my core. And hopefully, as you'll see, between that phase of, that the week 1 to week 5 phase, I managed to get to the lightest and leanest I've ever been via this picture on screen now. This was me at week 7. I know it looks like I've got my ball bag in the sink. I can assure you I do not. But I was really proud of how I got down to the lightest I'd been. I was the most toned I'd been. But I was kind of worried that I was still losing the weight to where I kind of like had to like think, I don't want to be a twig. I still want to be built, Like, because I've always kind of been like a built, broad-shouldered person, and I don't want to be stick-thin Tom. That's not what I'm interested in the slightest. I want to have a bit of muscle to me, but I knew we needed to strip this fat off, but I wanted to strip the fat out by still putting good nutrients in my body and lots of protein. That's the thing now that I realize that I need a lot of protein, and I'm no nutritional guide whatsoever, so don't listen to anything I say or take it seriously, but this is what I decided was I need to be making sure I'm getting that good amount of protein in my life. So that's where I spoke to Rita from Rita's Reign, a business on screen now. And I just said, like, I know your husband used to be a bodybuilder. Is there any chance with the food that you do, which, is a lot of it is like chicken and rice and goat and rice and these dishes, can you do me a healthy version of chicken and rice with vegetables that I can have as my lunchtime meal? Because for breakfast, I've got porridge. That's healthy. That's A-okay. I can have that every morning. Then for my lunch, I was sometimes going down to the village bakery and having like maybe ham with pasta or whatever, tomatoes and lettuce in it, but not really getting the stuff that I needed in my body to build this muscle. Like, I wasn't getting enough protein. And then in the evening meal, I'd have like a nice healthy dish with Lydia. That was fine. But I realized that this core meal, my lunch, that after I'd been to the gym and I was eating it, I wasn't consuming enough protein. So I switched at like week 7, where I was the lightest I'd been, to a meal prep. And it was one of the best decisions I think I made. One, it was so goddamn tasty. Like, so goddamn tasty. Like, I still have it now. And I think for the remainder of my life, I would rather have Rita's Reign for my lunch. The fact that I get this delivered to my house is insane. But yeah, I decided to start doing this and having healthy intake for my lunch every day. And it was a lot of protein. Definitely a jump from, say, like if I was going to have a ham sandwich one day. And from going to the gym, Tuesdays, Thursdays, doing my 30-day challenge that was increasing in difficulty every single week and increasing my taking protein, I got to week 10, which was yesterday, and I'm looking like this. Now, again, I know I'm no shredded, chiseled, raw, like some people may assume like me making such a big deal out of this like fitness journey might be, but if you're to put on screen the comparison, and this is why I'm like, even to be at this point in the video talking about this and sharing this, to show the difference between where I was when I started to now on screen here, I feel like it's night and day, man. Like, honestly, I feel like I look at that and go, I still got titties, right? And I know people will be like, yeah, man, you still got a long way to go, but in 10 weeks to think I've achieved that is absolutely insane to me. Like, honestly, the whole like putting my mind to it and achieving it has never felt so rewarding. Like, if I come up with a task like in my vlogs, like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like, that satisfaction and feeling of completing a task is amazing. But to be able to look at how just podgy and fat and titty-filled I was at the start of this compared to now is ridiculous. And I will have to say, the week 1 image doesn't look that flattering because I'm like blinking, but that's kind of the only difference. Like, the lighting's the same, the location's the same. Like, I think I'm actually wearing like, everything's the same there. I even kept my watch on for this picture just in case anyone was to point out that I've done is lost my watch. But I can proudly say I'm very impressed with how that result has come together. And if you think it's worth a comment or a like, letting me know that, I'd really appreciate it. Because I feel like I put my mind to something and achieved it. And there's still a long way that I want to go. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have made this video. Like I said, I would not have made this video or even showcased this before, like, I'd maybe done 20 weeks and really got into shape or something. But I just want to like feel proud to share with you guys confidently what I look like and my body and my physique, with how much it's been sort of detrimental to me in the past. Like, again, you could leave the meanest comment about like how I look then or how I look now, and it wouldn't bother me. It's me. It's my mind over matter of how I feel about it. And the fact that I feel like I've actually achieved something here is pretty mega. But I've got another image just to show, which is one that I took yesterday after I got back from the gym, where I kind of, as much as we take the pictures at the gym and it's a good staple point of what I look like at the start, to the finish, same location, same lighting, so it's just a fair example. I took this picture of me yesterday in the mirror upstairs, and I was like, yeah, go on the boys, getting somewhere. And honestly, I feel like I look at that and I'm like, that's fucking sick. That is what I've been wanting to work towards. Like, I look at that and rather than being like, oh, I've still got man boobs, I'm like, I can feel and tell that is like muscle and it's building out. And yeah, there's areas where I still want to improve it, but man, does that look good. Man, does it look better than where I was? Like, man, are you ready? This is the final image that I want to showcase, and it's the before image of when I started. So it's the picture from the gym, but then it's like, so the fattest I've been, then it's the lightest I've been, where I was 67.7 kg, and then it's where I am now. And that looks like this. Again, my ball bag is not in the sink, don't worry about it, but this is an example of me doing no exercise whatsoever, then to losing the weight and being the lightest and leanest I've ever been, so I kind of look like a twig, to then changing up my diet to have more protein in me, to looking like that. And I did just finish a 30-day challenge, and I feel like I'm about to pop in it, but I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of it. Like, I honestly really am so proud of it. Like, you guys don't know this, but it is now 4:44 of me recording this. It's actually the next day I'm recording this bit as a segment to put in the vlog yesterday, because I just didn't have time yesterday to do it. And it's taken me 4 hours to film this video, and there was no reason why, and it was just because I have been so self-conscious about sharing this with you guys, but when I look at that image, man, oh, Charlotte, what a woman. She has pushed me to some extremes, and the thing is, I so love that I'm enjoying this. I thought I was going to hate it, and you probably got me on record saying like, oh, going to the gym's stupid. What's the point in going to a gym and having a physique that you don't need in real life? Like, I understand if you're a joiner going to the gym and like getting fitter and stronger so you can carry more wood to your job or your tools or this. It makes sense, you know, like if you're a lumberjack, extra bit of workout to make your job easier. Like, I don't need it for like everyday vlogging and stuff, but I tell you something, having little Alfie in my life to be able to pick up my son and like it not even bother me, like I think he's what, like 15, is he 15 pounds or something like that? I don't know if this is a big baby. I can pick him up and the weight of him doesn't faze me in the slightest. Like, it's so nice to have more strength picking things up. Like, I actually feel it. Like, certain things I've tried to move around my house that I've not been able to do before, I can now do. I'm stronger. I feel better. My mind's never felt so good. My body's never looked so good. And I can categorically say I'm in the best shape of my life. I really am. And I do not want to hit the reset button and lose it. So I'm going to try my best to stay on top of it and then go the extra mile when I get back from like this like period of travel. But man, does it feel good to be able to share this and just to sit back and to see like the fruits of my labor. All this hard work that I've put into it is mad. Is absolutely mad. From being big fat boy to thin boy, taking in more protein, starting the triple threat challenge, which I do really think has built out my chest a lot more, and feel free to do it. If you fail by one day, like you miss a 24-hour period, you've got to restart it and go again. I did after a week and I was gutted. And the result is something that I'm extremely proud of. I hope to be able to return back to this video and see the difference between how I look at the end of it, stay on top of it with like, you know, really hone in on like the nutrition side of things, which I said I wasn't that interested, but to see what is possible by just putting your mind to something, I want to focus on that, see if I can improve it and just getting in the best shape of my life by, I don't know, let's set ourselves a challenge of what, by like June 23rd, my 31st birthday, can I leave being 30, being in the best physical shape I've ever been in my life. I always said when I was 30, I wanted to be in the best physical shape, but I thought I would have started at 29 and then looked good by 30, but it just didn't happen because of my shoulder. But that's where I'm at. That is what I've managed to achieve over this course of time. Like, if we just put on the image that I took yesterday now, that's where I'm at. And I'm feeling pretty damn good about it. I'm just rambling at this point, but like, I'm just still in a bit of disbelief that this is something I've managed to achieve, and more so I've finally kind of addressed why you don't see in videos me shirtless or topless and that sort of stuff. Not that you'd want to see that, but I've always just been very self-conscious about it, and it's something that's been a massive deal to me. And I've just never really wanted to talk about it because, you know, why be all talk when you can be kind of all action sort of thing. And I feel like I've put into place making some moves to be able to say, if you do put your mind to something, you can achieve it and you can get shit done. And it's up to you to do that. So, yeah, there's that. I know I've rambled for the longest time and as to what's been a normal vlog, and I'm sure a lot of people have just skipped through this, but it's meant a lot to me to be able to discuss this. So thank you for bearing with me. There is a rest of the vlog of this video to watch for you guys to be able to enjoy, and I hope you do. If you are new around here, make sure you click that subscribe button just to see what I get up to in my life. And if you ever want me to kind of go over the fitness stuff in the future, I will do. I am no physical expert, nutrition expert or anything. I'm just a potato. We put his mind to it and managed to achieve something. So, yeah, there you go. My name's Tom. I've still got tits, but at least they look a bit more muscly and defined than what we started with all that time ago. So, yeah, absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. I appreciate you, and I love you guys. And Charlotte, I love you more. Just watching myself a randy vlog, and I see the boy Callux, and well, nice to see you back from swimming already. Great success. And did you bring a date home? Mm-hmm. Did you bring a date home? Oh, hello. Look at you there. You on a romantic little date? Woo. And I'm on a date with dinner because look at this bowl. Oh. Lydia.
Yeah.
You smash yourself back. It's so good. I don't even like pasta. Pasta's awful. But what is it, tuna pasta? This is an amazing tuna dish.
It's a Mino tuna dish.
I refuse to acknowledge it's a pasta dish.
You don't like sweet corn.
I love sweet corn, actually. I do.
Why do you always tell me you hate it? I love sweet corn.
I don't know, it's not my go-to choice, but I do like this. Excuse me. Do you really think you're supposed to be eating the side of that bowl? Alfred, put the bowl down. But look at, I'm actually really trying to pull that away from him. Look at the stress in his fingers. Alfred, get off.
He's looking up to
Alfred.
He's looking up to you.
It is.
Give it back. Daddy.
Let's see if he pulls it towards him. My boy. This is now just the next day. All right, all it seems like I've done since I got back from the gym is eating food, and that is quite literally the case. But I've actually been taking care of a lot of important stuff up there on my laptop, but I've switched to the laptop for my notebook, and we're hopping back in the whip because we're heading out the house yet again, but this time I'm going meeting up with Bradley, the architect, to discuss the house next door, where I wasn't expecting you two to just randomly turn up. But the reason I'm meeting Bradley about this is because I want to discuss finally doing something with it. And we might be able to do so if that's my mum finally moving the furniture from the garage and allowing us to demolish the house. Now, that's a bit of a strong statement to say demolish it, but honestly, it's probably going to be best case scenario because the footprint of the house is absolutely dire. All the water damage that's got caused inside is absolutely insane. And it is absolutely the perfect asset to develop now rather than later because, as you can see, on my road, there's constantly construction going on. And that's a good thing because it's raising the value of the road and making my asset worth more money. But the thing is, the longer I leave doing any work on the house next door, the more expensive it's going to become to do anything with. Just like year after year with interest and inflation and stuff like that, it's just going to cost more money. So we should really plan now to pull the trigger to make the most out of this asset. And I know I've done like the videos of being like, we can go into the garden and do bowling alleys and do this and do that. I would love to do that. And there's literally nothing stopping us, apart from the financial side of it, from pulling the trigger and going ahead with that. But the thing is, the secret project has, you know, put a new perspective on what I want to do with things. So with the house next door that I've got, I'm like, do I really want to put all these eggs into one basket of the house next door and tie up a load of finances into this? Or do I want to just develop it as a house that I can use for multi-purpose like variation of things, and then it leaves me with a house that on the road is worth way more money than what I bought the property for, and then save all the crazy ideas and stuff like that for the secret project when that comes about. Sounds like a bit of a long-winded way of going around everything, but I've got all these things that I'm trying to do and I'm juggling them and moving them, and it's just so much cost involved that it's just like, right, I need to make a smart decision of what to do. So I'm going meeting with Brad my notepad and we're having a discussion as to what we can do with the house next door to maximize it, like add the most value to it, like whether we're like ripping the entire thing down, we're doing extensions, we're working on the drive, working out exactly what we need from that property, how much it's going to cost, and then deciding whether or not it's the right thing to do to pull the trigger until the secret project is available to do. So after a 3-hour drive, I'm at Gladstone's, where Bradley's been waiting for me for 5 fucking hours. Are you officially going to say I look skinny for once? Yeah. Wait, I'm going to show him the before and after picture, and he's going to be the only person to have seen it so far.
Really, really good.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Mate, I appreciate that. I've literally shown no one yet, so thank you. Right, this is what we're actually here for. I know we've been speaking about this for the longest time, but last time we met here, I sat down with you, didn't I? And I was like, we're going to have to put everything pause. I've got a secret project in the works.
Secret project.
But because that's been shelved, it's time we get
secret project. Why is that?
You don't even know that. No, but it has been pushed back by like 6 to 12 months. So
This is a go then.
yeah, we're getting shit done. And we've got to decide what we're doing. And the plan is to, don't get me wrong, I'm going to take all your advice and whatever we should do, but I reckon it's the case of fucking drop the bastard, because it's just so messed up with the water anyway. Yeah. And we just make this the biggest footprint house that we can for me to use the internal space for whatever fun projects, podcasting, Syndicate Original, whatever it could potentially be. That's what I want that to be. And then if we sell it on as a house in the future, if the secret project goes ahead and I sell my house and the house next door, it will sell and we'll make a profit. Yeah, we don't want to waste money on it. We want to make a profit. Wow, 2 hours later, that was very productive. So I'm going to see this guy later on. See you later. But oh my gosh, was that really good. Like, honestly, we were talking for the longest time and it has been just the case of we should have been getting on with this like 2 years ago, but with the situation of wanting to get the work done on my house, right? The house next door, then my dad's ill health, my granddad passing away, and then Alfie. There's just been so much going on, and then the secret project just being like this complete spanner in the works that I was never expecting. Me and Brad have sat down and assessed what we need to do. And what it is get the house next door going. Like, honestly, this has got to be the first project me and Brad get our teeth into with a plan of action, a plan and design of what we want it to look like, how we want it to look like, what purpose it's going to serve, and getting it in under a budget. So we say. I feel like if you ever watch a Grand Designs episode, they're like, yeah, I'm going to build a 20-story house for a 5. You're like, no, you fucking not, shut up. But me and Brad are on the same page with what we're doing, and we're going to move ahead with trying to get this going. So I'm just going to say this right now. This is Brad's Instagram. If you want to go and check him out and see the work that he's done before, he's an absolute wizard, right? And shout out to Alex, because he takes Brad's architect drawings, then turns them into 3D renders. It looks so good. If you want to go and follow Brad, you can do, because he's going to be posting the behind the scenes of coming up with the concept drawings and plans for the house next door. He's going to go away and he's going to whip up I think either 5 to 10 different styles and designs. And what we're trying to effectively create is the biggest space possible as a shell for me to do whatever I want inside of it. Like, I know we joked about oh, we could put a bowling alley in the garden and stuff like that. That's great. You could potentially do that, but we don't need to be doing stupid over-the-top stuff with the house next door. We can save that for the secret project when that comes around in a year's time. But for now, it's focusing on turning the house next door into the most prime opportunity for the future. Serving the purpose now, but then when the time comes, if we need to sell it or we want to sell it, we can do, and it will make us money. So I'm going to need your guys' input of whether you think the designs we'll come up with look good, any ideas from a structural architectural standpoint, and more so your guys' inspiration. So if you've got an idea that you've ever thought, Tom, this would suit you so well for the house next door, send it to Brad. Take a screenshot, whether it's a house that exists, something you've drawn up, a sketch like that. Send it to Brad on Instagram and he can see it and be inspired by it. And you know what? We're going to take your guys' inspiration and put it into into actual practice and showcase it in the vlog. So yeah, with a bit more time and effort and energy, we're going to put things together, and we're going to be powering on, and I'm pretty damn excited about it. I'm also now at Pets at Home, just sat in the car park because I've come to get Kevin some food, and before someone says, Tom, how dare you cheat on Swell, unfortunately they closed at 5:30. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's a puddle of piss. Lovely. But we're out of there and we're not going to talk about it, but I'm going to show it. How bad is that parking? at it. What have I done there? That's why I'm not a loving offender. You can park anywhere. I've spoken a bit too soon because you might be able to park anywhere, but you can also break down anywhere. I've got an engine warning light. And that's not a warning light for show. I was on the motorway doing 70 and I felt like the power on the engine was like reducing a little bit, but I didn't think too much of it because I was like pulling off to go into a 50 like roadworks area, so I didn't think anything of it. But after the 50 road ended and I could go back up to speed, I could not get from 50 to 70. Luckily, I was only like 5 minutes away from home, and then this thing popped up on my dash. So Houston, we do indeed have ourselves a problem. But it's gonna have to wait because Lydia needs some double milk from Tesco. Come. Let's just hope I can get this home. Moment of truth. Will she start? Yep. Oh, still there. But I think she's moving, even if we are getting home in limp mode. Wish me luck. We've made it. It felt like a bit of a power struggle. Like, honestly, it's struggling even doing 30 miles per hour at the moment. I'm going to bang it round the back and then speak to the garage tomorrow and see how quickly I can get it taken in, because as much as I've got the AMG, this is my daily driver. Maybe it's just kicking off with me because I've not fixed the smell of socks that it's got going on. Keep it together, dear. Keep it together. And whoa, look at that. There's a plane flying through the clouds. Look how spooky that looks. Aliens. Now I spy with my little eye something beginning with Alfredo. What you doing down here, lad? And don't say you don't know and that I put you there. For entertainment's sake, let's say you came down here to sit back, relax, and enjoy the view. Alright, there, Kevlar. Hungry for a grub or two? Okay, I've brought you out the basement. Thanks for participating in my... I was going to say randomness, but he just right hooked me. But Mama Bear is cooking up a storm. What are we having?
Gammon. Sweet potato fries and broccoli.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, let's go have a look. Hopefully you don't punch me again as I film this way, but how good does that look? Oh, that looks even better out of the oven. Oh, nom. What glaze is on it?
Taste it. It's like a honey.
Oh, I am looking forward to tasting that. Oh, it's so nice to see him just sat at the dinner table. Look at him, he's like a little member of society. Oh. And I am happy to be part of this society, because look at this. Oh, this is sweet potato fry with what sauce? Is it miso?
Miso caramel.
Oh, Lydia. Thank God I've already done my 10-week check-in. Oh my gosh. That's like candy.
It's good.
Yes. And the gammon. Wow. What a nice dish, Lyd. I feel like this is new. Gammon, broccoli, sweet potato fries. It's not something you usually do before. Lydia's expanding her potential future cookbook horizons.
Buy a gammon from M&S.
I don't actually know what they say in the film Dune 2, but this one guy constantly thinks he's like the Messiah, and he's like, Al-Kazim! Oh, mate, look at that. Little bath time with this guy. Alfie, why does this look like lost footage that someone's found and it was the last clip before you murdered them? Oh no! Alfie was effectively beating the living crap out of me there because it was getting close to midnight and I needed to complete my triple threat challenge, which I did. Holy crap. Every time I see you in front of this mirror at the end of the night, I'm just like, crikey Joe, I am knackered. But seeing as though I'm in front of this mirror, I think a good comparison of pictures should go on screen right about now, which is obviously the picture Charlotte took at the start of like the gym session stuff, where I was the biggest I was. Then it was the lightest I was, and then it was like space between that, and then the final picture you just saw, that was yesterday. So definitely feel like I've made progress, to say the least, but I've still got a long way that I want to go. I'm just really hoping that I can work out some sort of fitness routine whilst I'm away and I'm travelling and drinking and stuff like that. You know, I think it's all in moderation, but when you go on a stag do, is there such thing as moderation? Like, I'm sure I can, but the only thing I'm trying to do with my diet and my life is to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? If there's an opportunity with friends and family to go out for a meal and really enjoy it, I will do, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say no to it and look back going, I wish I would have done, rather than saving the case of having 300 calories or something. But I think I've done a pretty good job of grinding from where I was to where I am after 10 weeks. And it's been one hell of a journey. I've really enjoyed it, but I tell you something, eating and drinking what you want is definitely better than being fit. Like, I know people are going to hate me saying that, but for a fact, it is absolutely true. And I think if I asked Lydia, you're a foodie, don't you just so much prefer enjoying life and eating whatever you want? There you go. Like, mine and Lydia's biggest thing about our, well, I said biggest thing, one of our biggest things in a relationship is we love food, you know, we love to travel and eat it. And I'm sure it's in moderation. Like, Lydia's as skinny as a twig, you know what I mean? Like, she gave birth, you didn't even freaking notice once she was out, like, she'd even been pregnant. Like, it's insane. But like, I think if, for me, I like to drink and I like to eat, but it's like, you know, maybe balancing the two and find a nice middle ground, and we can go from there. But hey, there we go. This is me after 10 weeks. And I will be honest, I do like what I see. If you think I've done a good job, do me a favour, leave a like rating, click that subscribe button. And as much as today's been a very long, talkative vlog, I did think, you know, it's just one of those days. I'm in that kind of mood, and it's just been nice to chat with you all. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm excited to see where we go from there. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. And until next time, click the subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and I'll see you guys later. Adios.